Hi, I Heart Songwriting Club. Hi, songwriters. I'm Francesca de Valence, and I'm the founder of this club that we all belong to. I founded I Heart Songwriting Club to help me write songs because I really struggled to write songs. I actually struggled to write any song. Like, I was struggling to write 4 songs a year, and I was getting in my own way. I was totally procrastinating. I was really struggling to the point of having mental health issues around that. And this is the club that I started, which was just a private little songwriting group for 2 years before the waiting list demanded that I find a way to make it accessible to more songwriters. And I'm so delighted that, 4.5 years later, we have over 400 songwriters from 14 countries around the world. And the club has actually helped people write over 6,000 songs. So you can tell I'm pretty proud of that. I'm proud of that idea that I needed for myself was actually able to solve so many other people's problems too around songwriting. Anyway, the reason I'm doing a video is because thank you so much for your feedback that you've been giving at the end of your 10-week terms. I do read them. The team reads them, and we want to provide some support around some of those things if we can help, if we can solve some of those problems now. Some of those things are more long-term solutions that we're looking at. But, okay, so one question was around could I give some advice around giving better feedback? And I can certainly do that for you. So firstly, I believe the best feedback is from a peer, somebody who has done what you've just done, which is written a song in 1 hour and understands the struggle, understands the process, understands the fear, understands that it's kind of a half-written piece of work. Or maybe, the ideas are so fresh and so fragile that you wouldn't want to share it beyond that group of peers, perhaps, right? So when you're commenting and listening, the way I approach it is to listen without any judgment, to kind of just let it wash over me and notice any responses I have emotionally, physically, or anything like that. Maybe it's actually a response of confusion or a response of something that's not so relaxing or emotionally like tugging. So whatever that is, I just let it wash over me first, and then I go in and I really read the lyrics, and I get a clearer picture of the story that's being told. And usually the way I comment is finding something that I really like, my favorite part of the song. I always comment on my favorite part of the song, and no matter what the song is, I'm sure you could find something that you just really like. Is it chanting, or you admire, or you really love? So comment on that. And then if I know the songwriter well, so, because I've been doing this for 246 weeks, I know the songwriters that are in my groups mostly quite well, but sometimes there are new songwriters in my group. For those who I know really well, we really have a relationship where we can be really critical with each other around our songwriting, still knowing this is a song written in 1 hour, but just also knowing the breadth of the songs that this other songwriter can write. But when you know the songwriter well, you can be a bit more critical. But when you're starting out with a new person or somebody that you've only been with maybe 1 or 2 terms, maybe just point out something that maybe didn't resonate with you. It's like maybe this lyric didn't feel as strong as the rest of it. If this was my song, perhaps I would change this part, or I would look at developing this part further. So just in summary, I would point out the part that I loved the most, so, had some sort of connection with or heart pull, or maybe it's overall, it made me feel a certain way that I really loved feeling, and then pick one thing that you would, if it were your song, how you would improve that, or one thing that didn't resonate so strongly with you. And I think just, keep encouraging people to keep writing every week, because the very essence of practicing songwriting will actually mean that you'll become a better songwriter. And we're not trying to write great songs every week. We're just trying to get our practice done so that after 10 weeks, maybe 2 of those songs are useful, or can be used, is what I'm saying. They're all useful, but maybe can be used for, recording, or for getting on stages, or for some sort of demo. And after 20 weeks, that might look like 4 songs. And after 30 weeks, that might look 6 songs. Do you see what I'm saying here? So it's really important to keep your songwriting practice up. And so when you're giving feedback, just keep encouraging people to keep going. And just one other thing, I might do a separate video about this, but while I've got you here, some people have really big feelings about writing songs and sharing them that maybe they don't show up, and they kind of check out for a little bit. If you're a songwriter that's being really active in your group, firstly, thank you, that's awesome. Thanks to you for showing up for your practice. But if you've got people who have sort of checked out in your group, tag them. Put the @ sign and then tag their name in a comment on the club, in your group. And say, hey, we're here for you. We're holding a space for you to come and show up to your songwriting. We'd love you to join us. You know, whatever you've got, even if it's just a verse, because some people just need that level of encouragement. And, you know, there are some downsides with being online, is that we can't speak to each other. We can't be face to face. And, you know, if I was in a room with those people, I would really want to say, you know, you're okay with me and just do whatever you can, but you're here to be a better songwriter. So just give it a go. What's the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to write a shit song. That's actually the worst. Actually, no. The worst thing that's going to happen is you don't write a song at all. And if you want to be a songwriter, that's kind of not a great thing going forward. So be that supportive songwriter where you encourage people. Don't get the shits with them, because it's totally useless to do that. So be as encouraging as you can to keep people writing. Thanks so much, Ross, for asking for this guideline around how to give better feedback. I really appreciate it. So if this has been useful to you, you can thank Ross from WA in Australia. Thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic week and happy songwriting.